Talking about obstacles, I remember vividly another match, perhaps one of the most painful moments in my life. I was playing in the Women's World Championship cycle at that time, and I won the qualification tournament by 3.5 points, which is a huge lead ahead of the second player. And yet the regulation was that I had to play a match with the second finisher, even though she finished 3.5 points behind me, in order to determine who will be the qualifier to challenge the world champion for the title. I started out well, won my first 2 games. It was a best of 8. So a 2-point lead is huge, obviously. And then after 5 games, I was in a lead 3.5 to 1.5. So it's almost over. All I need is 1 point from the remaining 3 games. And things were going well. And then all of a sudden, something happened, and I started to playing horrible. Obviously, that resulted in losses, and my opponent equalized the match to 4-4. According to the regulation, we had to play an additional 2 games, and best of 2, whoever wins goes on to challenge the world champion. I won the first game, but lost the second one. So we had to play an additional 2 games, which ended in 1-1 as well, and then an additional 2 games, which ended in 1-1 as well. So out of 14 games, I wasn't trailing at any single time. I was leading the whole time, and my opponent each time came back and equalized the match. And sadly, at that point, the regulation said that there will be simply drawing of lots. The qualifier for the World Championship will be decided by the draw of luck. So that was a very dramatic moment for me. Obviously, I was very nervous for the drawing of lots, and as you may imagine, based on the story, I wasn't the lucky one. And my opponent got to go on and challenge the world champion in the match. The point is that after that, obviously, for a few hours, few days, I felt horrible. I thought it's the end of the world. I thought it's time to give up, this is unfair, and all of that. However, within a couple of days, I realized that that's life. Things happen. They don't always work out immediately the way we'd like to. And eventually it motivated me to come back with the experience, to try even harder, not to underestimate my opponent, and show that I can do better. And that's what I did 2 years later when I came back and eventually won that title.